Good evening, Titans. This is Mr. Simpson. Tonight we're going to talk about a box and whisker plot. And so here's just an example of a box and whisker plot, talking about the number of first cousins that people have. And so we'll go ahead and talk about these. Hopefully it's something you've seen before. First of all, box and whisker plot shows the variability of a data set along a number line using the least value, the greatest value, and the quartiles of the data. Quartiles divide the data set into 4 equal parts. The median, which is the second quartile, divides the data set into 2 halves. Then the median of the lower half is the first quartile. The median of the upper half is called the third quartile. And so then along with the least value and the greatest value, which are extended out to form the whiskers of the box and whisker, gives us a 5-number summary of the data. So again, a box and whisker plot shows the variability or the spread of the data using a 5-number summary. So if we're going to do a box and whisker plot for this set of data, the first thing we want to do is put it in order from least to greatest. So we go 5, cross that one out, 14, 16, we have another 16, then we have a 20, a 22, a 28, and a 30. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the middle. So my median would actually be 18 because that's the middle of those. And now I have to do the median of the lower half. So there's 4 numbers, so there's 2 on each side. So my Q1 would be 15. Again, the median is my Q2. And then the median of the upper half of data, which would be my Q3. And halfway between 22 and 28 would be 25. And my least value is 5. And my greatest value is 30. So there's everything we need. So what we would do is we create a box and whisker plot. But we do that by first making a number line. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I draw my median line of 18. My Q1 is at 15. My Q3 is at 25. So I make my box. And now I have a whisker at 5. My least value is at 5. And my greatest value is 30. And I draw my whisker out there. And so there is my box and whisker plot that represents that set of data. So here we want to look at a box and whisker plot and analyze some of the things. So it says, the box and whisker plot represents the lengths in seconds of the songs played by a rock band at a concert. Find and interpret the range of the data. So that looks like the greatest value is 300. The least value is 160. So my range would be 140 would be my range. Describe the distribution of the data. Well, it looks like from my least to my Q1 is a pretty spread out, since that has a range from 220 to 160. Here, the upper is pretty well close together. And then this interquartile range, which is the Q3 minus the Q1, is 280 minus 220, which is 60. So it says find and interpret the interquartile range, and so I kind of jumped ahead of myself. So the interquartile range right here is 60. And then are the data more spread out below Q1 or above Q3? And so if we look at that, it looks like it's more spread out, more below Q1. All right, and so again, all we're doing is looking at a box and whisker plot and just discussing some of the variability of the data. So, box and whisker plots. Okay, the shapes of them. This would represent a skewed left data because there's a longer tail on the left side. So that would be skewed to the left. If the two whiskers are in boxes are fairly symmetrical, then we say it's symmetric. And then if the tail on the right side or the whisker on the right side is longer, then it would be skewed to the right. Okay, skewed to the right. It says here, the double box and whisker plot represents the test scores of your class and your friend's class. Identify the shape of each distribution. Well, it looks like your class, it'd be skewed left because the whisker, and then your friend's class would be symmetrical. Okay, which test scores are more spread out? So I would assume, if you look at this, the interquartile range would be larger, and the range would also be larger, so your friends would be more spread out. All right, there you go. There's the video for tonight, and come to class tomorrow ready to draw box and whiskers plots and analyze box and whisker plots from data.